Chicago named Courtney who has a disease that can leave women infertile. So in college, she turned to Planned Parenthood for access to affordable contraceptive care to keep her healthy. You didn't just help her plan for a family, you made sure she could start one. And today she's got 2 beautiful kids. That's what Planned Parenthood is about. It is about a woman in Washington State named Joyce who for years could only afford health care at her local Planned Parenthood clinic. And heeding your advice, she never missed her annual exam. During one of them, your doctors helped catch an aggressive form of cervical cancer early enough to save her life. Today, she's been cancer-free for 25 years. So every day, in every state, in every center that Planned Parenthood operates, there's stories like those. Lives you've saved, women you've empowered, families that you've strengthened. That's why no matter how great the challenge, no matter how fierce the opposition, there's one thing the past few years have shown. It's that Planned Parenthood is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere today. It's not going anywhere tomorrow. As long as we've got to fight to make sure women have access to quality, affordable health care, and as long as we've got to fight to protect a woman's right to make her own choices about her own health, I want you to know that you've also got a president who's going to be right there with you, fighting every step of the way. Thank you, Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood is a racist, genocidal organization. It is just so outrageously ironic or Hegelian that they use a biracial president to be a good spokesperson for Planned Parenthood. From 2011 to 2012, abortions rose to 333,964 from a 2009 tally of 332,278. So it went up over 1,700 abortions. So that each year the abortions are going higher in this care for their customers, their patients. Now, Planned Parenthood received $349.6 million in taxpayer fundings in 2008, and now they're going for this funding again. Obama was there pushing it, working for that Rockefeller Club of Rome syndicate. And Aurelio Passet and Alexander King founded the Club of Rome, researched the Club of Rome. Too much to go over right here, but it's all part of this plan for depopulation. Going over again with books like Limits to Growth and Paul Ehrlich, these writers, and John P. Holdren, who is the eco-fascist who wrote Ecoscience, who is our science czar. I mean, this is the protocol. This is a part of the hidden agenda of our government, of our State Department, of everything. This is the agenda. Okay, the New World Order. And what they're doing is they're taking this money, these criminals, and aborting children, okay, going up. And they're claiming all these other women's services that, like Obama's claiming right here. Now, the truth is that there were 333,964 abortions in 2011. And the amount that they're reported receiving in taxpayer money is $542 million, according to Susan B. Anthony list of analysis report on the form of government grants, contracts, and Medicaid reimbursements. The amount is 45% of Planned Parenthood's annual revenue. While government subsidies to Planned Parenthood have reached an all-time high, despite the protestations that abortion is only a small part of its services, Planned Parenthood has increased its number of abortions for 15 straight years, and during that time, it's gone from committing 9.3% of all abortions in the United States to committing 27.5%. That's unbelievable. So we want our federal tax dollars to pay for this, right? Pay for our own death. It's beautiful. That's what they love. They love it that way. 332,000 abortions were performed in 2009. But between 2011 and 2012, 333,964 abortions were performed, an increase of 1,700 abortions, a record year for Planned Parenthood. They're claiming that they need to do this for the population to be treated, the care that these women need. Well, the truth of the matter is that cancer screening and all of the other programs offered by Planned Parenthood has declined by 29% since 2009, while there has been an increase in abortions. So you tell me what the agenda is here, and how horrible, not only a traitor to his country, but a traitor to African Americans and anyone and Latinos, and anyone who seeks counsel from Planned Parenthood.
In the early 20th century, the white elitists who made up the eugenics movement were no longer just philosophers and academics. Now they were industrialists and billionaires who had come to embrace a worldview that was essentially identical to the eugenics movement. The same individuals and corporations who had once made millions on the backs of slaves were now willing to spend millions to get rid of them. But that didn't mean that these guys were interested in being public crusaders for the eugenics movement. They were certainly willing to be the brains and the money behind it, but they would hire crusaders to do the dirty work. And the primary one they settled upon was a woman named Margaret Sanger. She was the founder of the American Birth Control League and the publisher of its newsletter, the Birth Control Review.
In her autobiography, Margaret Sanger wrote about a speech she gave in 1926 at a Ku Klux Klan rally in Silver Lake, New Jersey. The Planned Parenthood founder bragged about the fact that afterward, she was invited by 12 other Klan chapters to speak at their events.
At about the same time the American Birth Control League was changing its name to Planned Parenthood, a lot of books and reports began coming out that attempted to put a happy face on eugenics, and many of them were written by people that were associated with Planned Parenthood. The strategy here was obvious. Since the Nazis had turned eugenics into a four-letter word, the American eugenics movement decided it was time to lay low. So most of their writings during this time period downplayed the role of eugenics and couched their agenda in terms of helping the African American. Perhaps the best example of this is a 1,500-page book by eugenicist Gunnar Myrdal called An American Dilemma: The Negro Problem in Modern Democracy. Interestingly, this book was not the result of some mom-and-pop operation. Myrdal had 75 assistants working on this project whose salaries were being paid for by the Carnegie Corporation, and Carnegie had been a major player in the eugenics movement for many years.
In 2007, Live Action Films of California conducted an undercover investigation of Planned Parenthood offices in several states. Under the direction of the organization's president, Lila Rose, the goal of the project was to determine whether Planned Parenthood officials would accept financial donations on the condition that the money would only be used to eliminate African Americans. The following clips are from the actual recordings of those conversations.
When I underwrite abortion, does that apply to minorities too?
If you specifically want it to underwrite an abortion for a minority person, you can target it that way. You can specify that that's how you want it spent. Okay, yeah, because there's definitely way too many black people in Ohio, so I'm just trying to do my part. Okay, whatever. Well, blacks especially need abortions too, so that's what I'm trying to do. Well, for whatever reason, we'll accept the money. So the abortion could be, I could give money specifically for a black baby. That'd be the purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to designate that you wanted your gift to be used to help an African American woman in need, then we would certainly make sure that that gift was earmarked specifically for that purpose.
Great, because I really face trouble with affirmative action, and I don't want my kids being disadvantaged, against black kids. I just had a baby. I want to put it in his name,
Absolutely.
So that's definitely possible.
Oh, always, always.
So would it be possible for me to donate that money specifically for these minority groups so that they could have access to abortions?
Yes, it would be.
Wonderful. And could I specify that abortion be done, or those abortions be done for a particular minority group, or how does that work?
If you wish, you can.
Okay. So for example, the black community in Tulsa, because I have connections with that, would it be possible to give the money specifically for that?
You sure can.
Wonderful. Great. So can I give you my credit card number?
Yes.
Wonderful. Just one more thing. The abortions will be done specifically for the black community abortions.
I will mark it in such a way that definitely it will.
Oh, great. On a black baby.
Yes.
Thank you. Great.
The exact amount we charge right now is $450 for an abortion.
Okay, $450.
And we can definitely designate it for an African American.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I wanted to make to fund, because this is a if I wanted to help fund multiple abortions, could you also specify that this could be done for a specific group? Well, I'm really excited, because I really face trouble with affirmative action. I don't want my kids to be disadvantaged, against blacks in college, and the less blacks out there, the better. So.
Yeah, it's a strange time for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, thank you very much, Jeremy. And if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. My extension is 304.
When this material was released to the public, Planned Parenthood's defense was to claim that the employees who made these statements were not reflecting the organization's corporate position. But in 1986, Planned Parenthood's national president, Faye Wattleton, made the following statement during an interview on CNN.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Dornan, if I may finish, we have received contributions from people who want to support us because they want all welfare mothers and all black women to stop having children.
Thank you for watching Truth Talk News. I'm Howard Nima.
In every state, in every center that Planned Parenthood operates, there's stories like those. Lives you've saved, women you've empowered, families that you've strengthened. That's why no matter how great the challenge, no matter how fierce the opposition, there's one thing the past few years have shown. It's that Planned Parenthood is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere today. It's not going anywhere tomorrow. Chicago named Courtney, who has a disease that can leave women infertile. So in college, she turned to Planned Parenthood for access to affordable contraceptive care to keep her healthy. You didn't just help her plan for a family, you made sure she could start one. And today she's got 2 beautiful kids. That's what Planned Parenthood is about. As long as we've got to fight to make sure women have access to quality, affordable health care, and as long as we've got to fight to protect a woman's right to make her own choices about her own health, I want you to know that you've also got a president who's going to be right there with you, fighting every step of the way. Thank you, Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood is a racist, genocidal organization. It is just so outrageously ironic or Hegelian that they use...
This is about a woman in Washington State named Joyce, who for years could only afford health care at her local Planned Parenthood clinic. And heeding your advice, she never missed her annual exam. During one of them, your doctors helped catch an aggressive form of cervical cancer early enough to save her life. Today, she's been cancer-free for 25 years. So every